Hello, basketball fans, and welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School as we are getting ready for girls high school basketball action on what is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving here on Hicksville Community Television. This is the, it's not the home opener, but this is the second game on the home schedule for the Hicksville Lady Aces, and tonight they're rolling out the welcome mat for the Lady Pirates of Continental. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Jim Seiler, I thought was going to be here tonight, but it's been held up, so we're going to see if Jim manages to make it or not this evening. But in his absence, I will do my best to do this flying solo. Brian Williams is with us tonight on the camera, making his basketball debut, as Chris Warner is under the weather tonight. So with Chris under the weather, I'm kind of hoping Jim isn't under the weather too, but either way, we're going to bring you a couple of basketball games here this evening, starting with the junior varsity contest here at the Red Zone tonight. And, we'll start with starting lineups, get those out of the way first. And we'll begin with the visiting Lady Pirates from Continental on the JV squad. Their starting five, number 00, is Allie Scott, a 5'7" freshman. Number 13, Jensen Army. She's 5'2" and a sophomore. Number 15 is Lauren Williams, 5'3" and a freshman. Number 23 getting the start tonight, Jensen Prowant, who's 5'7" and a freshman. And another freshman to round out their starting five, number 33. That'll be Reese Knowles, 5'5", and as we said, a freshman. Over on the Lady Aces side of the coin, their starting five looks this way. Number 3, Leah Seitz, the freshman, will get the start along with number 4, McKeegan Bailey, also a freshman. Sydney Bland, a sophomore, is number 5. Number 22 will be freshman Lindsey Bergman. And number 30, Alyssa Seitz, also a freshman, getting the start this evening. So we'll have to try to differentiate between the two Seitz girls, Leah and Alyssa, as best we can. The JV coach, Ryan Meiser, for the Lady Aces, and Cody Etter for the Lady Continental Pirates. Our coverage tonight from the Red Zone brought to you by the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Glad to have you with us as we're getting ready for basketball. We'll see how far I am from being in basketball form here tonight. Calling football for a while, so we'll get ready to speed things up a little bit. Teams will break huddle and head to the center circle. It'll be Bailey and Prowant jump in center circle. Tip controlled by the Aces. It goes back to Bergman, and we are underway. Bergman's going to pull up at the top of the key and pass the ball off to Bailey. Bailey flips it over to Seitz, and they'll move it around the perimeter. Bland with the ball right now, tosses it to Bergman, back to Bland, and then back to Bailey. Trying to work it down low. Seitz back to Bergman, and Bergman travels. So Lindsey Bergman with the travel will turn the ball over. And we'll get our first look at the Continental offense. They'll be bringing up Jensen Army. Excuse me. Down into the corner, that's Scott. Scott will flip it back to Williams. And they'll get tied up. It'll be a jump ball between Williams and Bergman. And the possession arrow will point to the Lady Pirates of Continental. Williams gets ready to handle the inbound chores. And she puts it off the back of Seitz and then takes the shot. It's no good. Rebound comes down to the Aces, and we're going to have a step on the end line. Bland came up with the rebound, but as she was moving around to get herself ready to pass the ball off, stepped on the end line, so that'll be another turnover for the Lady Aces here tonight. Still no score early on, and that's 5 seconds, so the Lady Aces will get the ball right back. 5:15 to go. Of course, 6-minute quarters here on the JV level. Ball inbounds to Bland. That's to Seitz. Long shot off the back of the iron is no good. Ball loose on the court, and people go after it, sliding out of bounds, and it's going to go over to Continental. Last touched by Bland before it went out of bounds. So the inbounds on the side. Ball comes into Army. Army, bad pass, goes out of bounds, and it'll be back to the Lady Aces. 5:40, or make that 4:56 to go in our opening quarter, and still no score. Leah Seitz passes it over to McKeegan Bailey. Bailey to Bland. Bland almost loses it. She's being ball hawked, but manages to retain control. Seitz flips it back over to Bailey. Bailey has it knocked away into the corner. It's going to go out of bounds. The Lady Aces will hang on to the ball, but going to need to start watching the quick hands of the Continental defenders. Bergman bounces the ball in to Seitz. Leah Seitz. Down low to Bergman. Bergman takes the step, trying to get position to take the shot. Just a freshman, so you're going to see those freshman mistakes. Here come the Lady Pirates on the other side, working around the perimeter. Driving into the paint, shot up, no good. Bergman grabs the board. Lindsay will take it across the timeline, bounce it back. Leah Seitz down and low to Bergman, turn around, up off the glass and good. Bergman with the first points of the night. And the Lady Aces take a 2-0 lead. We go under 4 minutes in our opening quarter, and that'll be a travel on Jensen Army. So Hicksville gets the ball back, and Bland will inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz tosses it over to Bailey. Ball knocked loose on the floor. Bergman in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to the Pirates and Jensen Prowett. Prowett takes it up court. Prowett down in the corner looking for some help, kicks it back out to the top of the key. That's Army, her shot up, no good, partially deflected. And Bergman comes up with the ball. Bergman over to Leah Seitz. Seitz will take the shot and draw the foul. And that will be the first foul on Jensen Army. And team foul number 1 in the act of shooting, so that's going to put Seitz at the line. Her first one is good. Quick substitution as Tori Perna comes into the game for the Lady Aces, along with number 2, Jade Sigmund. And that one in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Allie Scott. Scott tosses it over to Army. Army takes it across the timeline. Bounce pass, down low. Working in the paint, and ball deflected again, taken away. Bergman got her hand in there. Sigmund comes up with the ball. She'll toss it over to Seitz. Seitz to Bergman on the wing. Bergman kicks it back out to Seitz. Seitz to Bergman, back to Seitz, to Sigmund, and Sigmund takes an extra step as she tries to pass the ball to Perna. It'll be a turnover on the travel. 3-0 Aces with 2:52 to go. Ball inbounded to the Pirates. Army brings the ball up. Army tries to pass it inside, and the pass is stolen away by Seitz. And then she gets her pocket picked, and we come back the other way with the Lady Pirates. Working her way through traffic and driving to the hoop, drawing the foul is Jensen Army. Foul is going to be the first personal on Leah Seitz. Team foul number 1 for the Lady Aces. First shot, up and good. So Jensen Army breaks the scoring ice for the Lady Pirates. Seitz will come out. McKeegan Bailey back in the game for the Lady Aces. Also in the game, number 24, Raina Mazur. Shot up and no good. And Mazur with the rebound, kicks it over to Bailey. Bailey down into Bergman. Bergman to Sigmund. Shot from just inside the three-point arc is no good. And saved up. out of bounds. Sigmund thought she'd stopped in time, but evidently skidded a little bit off the side and turns it over. Lauren Williams will inbounds to Jensen Army. 2:18 to go. Army bounce pass over to Anna Villanueva, number 11 into the game for Continental. Driving to the hoop, and the shot is deflected. Shot back inbounds, a good play by Mazur, and into the hands of Bergman. Bergman powers it down the floor, tosses it over to Bailey. Bailey to Sigmund. Sigmund shot is up and just a little bit short. Rebound saved on the baseline, and then dribbled out of bounds. Trying to get it under control, but a lot of hustle there from Lindsey Bergman. Army down to Williams, and another takeaway by the Aces. And now it's Perna driving down the floor into the corner. Perna flips it in off of Mazur's hands, and another turnover. It comes up with Prowant. Prowant driving down the floor. She'll take it back out to the top of the key to Army. Army shot, no good, and it comes down into the hands of Perna. Perna back up court, and she's going to be fouled. That'll be the second personal on Jensen Army. That'll be a common foul on the floor, so it'll be out of bounds to the Lady Aces. Into the game, number 25, Marissa Beecher for Continental. Messer's going to inbounds with a minute 12 to go. She gets it into Sigmund. Sigmund. Shot is up and short from Bailey. Out of bounds and back to the Lady Pirates with a minute 4. And they're going to redo that one. Hope it'll be a turnover. So we're going to shift around a lot of personnel here. Bland back into the game. And we're going to have our first timeout of the evening. All right. So the Aces are going to call timeout. Let's get you up to date here. It's a quick 30-second timeout. Aces leading the Pirates now 3-1, our score here in the junior varsity game. With about a minute to go in our opening quarter. Both teams doing okay foul-wise. The Aces have one personal foul that they have committed. The Pirates have committed 2. And again, it's first time out of the game, so Aces have 4 timeouts remaining, and Pirates have their full complement of 5. Glad to have you here with us again as we're getting ready to, we're just getting started on the basketball season. This is the second home game for the Lady Aces. And after they play here, they're off for the rest of this week. Back in action, I believe, next week in the first week of December. Bland looking around and gets it in to Bailey. Bailey flips it over to Seitz. Seitz has it slapped out of bounds with 57.4 seconds. It'll stay with the Lady Aces. Inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz over to Bailey. Bailey puts it up and goes right over the hoop. No good. Bland takes a shot, no good, and the rebound comes down. And it's taken away by the Aces. Another running jumper, no good. Follow up. Seitz gets it back to Bailey. Bailey tries to get it to Seitz. It's off her hands and out of bounds and back to the Lady Pirates with 33.6 seconds left to go in our first quarter. Inbounds, Jensen Army. Army tosses it over to Prowant. Prowant back to Villanueva. Shot put up, and that's good by Allie Scott for 2. ties us at 3. Lady Aces looking to answer. Shot up from Bland, off the side of the iron and no good, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be back to the Pirates with 5.4 seconds left to go in our opening quarter. Villanueva inbounds to Army. Army is going to get fouled by Seitz. That'll be her second personal on the floor, so it'll be out of bounds to the Pirates with 2.7 seconds left to go in our opening quarter. Browant gets the ball in. Shot is up off the side of the backboard, no good, and that's the end of the first quarter, with the score tied at 3 between the Lady Pirates of Continental and the Lady Aces of Hicksville in our junior varsity game. Well, we'll take a break between quarters here and say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters making our basketball coverage possible for the 2019-20 season here on Hicksville Community Television. Of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford, once again lending us our support. And again, if you are in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that's brand new, pre-owned, car, truck, van, SUV, stop by, check out the great selections they have on the lots of the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, or you can check out the entire dealer inventory online anytime at jimschmidtauto.com. Always there for you with service before, during, and after the sale, and we're so proud to have them supporting our Aces basketball broadcasts. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. All right, we'll put a fresh 6 minutes on the clock, and we'll get ready for quarter number 2, tied at 3 in this junior varsity game between the Lady Aces and the Lady Pirates of Continental. Bill Murphy, Brian Williams bringing you the action here in the junior varsity game tonight. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Low-scoring game, but again, it's early in the season, and there's a lot of youth and inexperience on both these squads. A lot of freshmen out here playing at this level for the first time. McKeegan Bailey gets the ball taken away from her by Army, and then Army drags her pivot foot and travels and turns it right back over. It'll be Ace's ball on the side court here, and they'll bring over Sydney Bland to inbounds. Sydney gets it into Jade Sigmund. Sigmund kicks it back out to Bailey. Bailey, as they start to work it a little bit, Bergman will take the shot. No good. Ball bouncing loose. Bailey grabs the rebound, and it's slapped out of bounds by Army, but it'll stay with the Lady Aces. Inbounds. Bailey. Bailey gets it out to Bergman. Bergman just on the three-point line. No good. Lindsay gets her own rebound. Tosses it over to Bailey. Bailey back to Bergman. Bergman working over onto the side of the key. Gets it knocked out of her hands. It's going to go out of bounds, and I think it'll stay with the Lady Aces. It was a good job by Jensen Prowett. She got the ball out of Bergman's hands and slapped it loose, but she wasn't able to get it under control before it went out of bounds. Bland inbounds to Sigmund. Sigmund to Bailey. To Bergman. Shot is up off the iron, no good. Bergman gets the rebound with a little help from Alyssa Seitz. And we're going to have a whistle and another turnover. Back into the game for the Aces, number 3, Leah Seitz, as Jade Sigmund will sit down for a breather. Army will get the inbounds for the Pirates. Also in the game now, number 5, Olivia Logan for Continental. Almost stolen away, knocked out of bounds by McKeegan Bailey. Knowles looking to get the ball inbounds for the Pirates. And there's going to be a warning, sideline warning for Hicksville. Not a foul, but just a warning. Inbounds. And that's a bad pass stolen away by Bland. Bland tries to get it under control. She does. Kicks it back to Bailey. Bailey from the free throw line is good. Bailey with her first bucket of the night puts the Aces up 5-3. Army bounce pass to Proent. Proent gets it down to Knowles. Shot is up and no good and comes down into the hands of Lindsey Bergman. Bergman takes it across the timeline, gets it down to Bailey. Bailey puts it up, and that's good again. McKeegan Bailey warming up a little bit. She's got 4. Jensen Army, half court, guarded by Leah Seitz, and she'll travel. So Seitz' defense gets the job done that time, as Army is distracted enough by her to take that little half stutter step. Seitz will bring the ball up quickly. She kicks it back out to McKeegan Bailey. Bailey over to Bland. Bland inside to Bergman. Bergman turn around, puts it up, partially deflected, no good. The ball comes down into the hands of Proent. Proent's going to go coast to coast, put it up off the side of the backboard. Rebound thrown up, no good. And Alyssa Seitz with the rebound. Tosses it over to Leah Seitz. Seitz will take it down to Bland. Bland on the wing, inside to Bergman. She'll kick it out to Bailey, puts it up, in and out, no good. And that's going to be Lindsey Bergman on the reach-in. She'll get her first personal of the night. Team foul number 3 on the Lady Aces. Out of bounds to the Pirates. Jensen Army. 3:25 and the clock rolling. Army works it into the paint, feeds it off, puts it up off glass, no good. Shot from Proent. Another whistle. Into the game, back into the game rather. Number 24, Raina Mazur, and Tori Perna, number 1 for the Lady Aces, as Bailey and Alyssa Seitz will sit down. Inbounds. And we're going to have ball. I thought it was going to be a jump ball, but they're saying nope, it went out of bounds. So to the Aces. Seitz to Bland to Perna. Perna gets it before it goes across that timeline. Bergman up off the iron and no good. And Bergman's going to pick up another foul going after that rebound. That'll be 2 on Lindsay. And 4 now for the Lady Aces. Back into the game, number 15, Lauren Williams, as Reese Knowles will come out for a bit of a breather. Army will bring the ball up for Continental. Army flips it down low. Shot is up off the glass and good for Allie Scott. She's got 4 points now, and that makes it a 2-point game, 7-5. Sigmund back into the game. She loses the ball, but it's as a result of a foul, and that, I believe, is going to be number 3 on Jensen Army. So Jensen picks up her 3rd personal here in the first half. Allie Scott will sit down into the game for her number 25, Marissa Beecher. And they're going to keep Army on the floor with those 3 fouls, a travel and a turnover on the Aces. So they'll give the ball back to the Lady Pirates with 2:30 left to go in our first half. Bailey getting ready to check back into the game for the Lady Aces. She does. She'll spell Tori Perna. And with 3 fouls, finally they'll get to Jensen Army out for a little bit. And in for her, number 5, Olivia Logan. Logan with the ball. Logan takes it up court. Tosses over to Villanueva. Villanueva down to Beecher. Back to Villanueva. Shot is up from 3-point land off the iron. No good. And Mazur with the rebound. Seitz for the Aces tosses it over to Bailey. Bailey back to Bland. Bland, long shot, no good off the back of the iron. Rebound comes down to Lauren Williams for Continental. She tosses it over to Logan. Logan tried to, she gets it, but it's stolen away by Bailey, and Bailey's going to be hacked by Villanueva. That'll be Anna Villanueva's first. And team foul number 4 now. Should be number 5 on the Pirates. I must have missed one. Nope, number 4. Okay, they got it right. McKeegan Bailey. In and out. She'll get one more. Bailey gets the second one. Logan will bring the ball up for the Pirates. She tosses it to Villanueva. Down to Beecher. Beecher's going to hold on to the ball, guarded by Mazur. And she has it taken away by Seitz. Seitz out ahead of everybody, puts up the jumper, no good on the layup. And a travel on the rebound, so the Aces will get it right back. Back into the game now, number 33, Knowles, number 13, Army, and 00, Scott for Continental. And Alyssa Seitz back into the game for the Lady Aces, along with Tori Perna and Bergman. And another turnover on the Lady Aces end. Hicksville up 8-5, minute 21 to go in this half. Jensen Army guarded by Sigmund. Ball is loose. She gets it, and she's going to get, well, they're going to call the timeout before she went over the half-court line to get the over and back call. So that'll be a timeout on the floor. That's timeout number 1 for the Continental Pirates. They're going to take a full 1-minute timeout. They're down by 3. Both teams 4 fouls. And really Jensen Army, number 13 for Continental, the only player in real foul trouble with 3 personals hanging around her. But both Lindsey Bergman and Leah Seitz have a couple of personals apiece for the Lady Aces here tonight. I hope everybody is getting ready and their Thanksgiving preparations are well underway. We should mention, too, that we're going to get the boys' basketball season underway coming up on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That'll be the boys' home opener here at the Red Zone, as the Aces will be hosting the Locomotives from Montpelier. So we'll get our first look at the 2019-2020 Aces varsity squad and Coach Tony Tier's guys. Getting ready to get things back underway. Minute 12 to go in this first half. Knowles inbounds to Army. Guarded by Sigmund. Army looking for some help. Gets a pick. And the ball is knocked away into the hands of Lindsey Bergman. Bergman tosses it over to Perna. She kind of was not expecting it, but she gets it back under control. Down low to Seitz. Her shot up and no good. Rebound to Prowant. Prowant tosses it down to Army, and it's off her hands. Excuse me, that was an Army. That was Knowles. And it comes up into the hands again of Bergman. Bergman tosses it over to Bailey. Bailey to Perna. Perna puts up the shot. No good. Out of bounds, and it should stay. Nope. Last touch by Continental. Or excuse me, by the Aces. So into the hands of Continental it goes. Army again will bring the ball up for the Lady Pirates. And off the hands again of Scott and into the hands of Perna. Perna puts it up off glass, no good. Put back, follow up, no good. Scrum, and Prowant comes out of the tussle with the ball, tosses it over to Army. Army will slow things down a little bit, but she can't take too much time. 3 seconds, shot is up, no good. Bailey with the rebound, and that'll be the end of the first half. So we've played the first 12 minutes here tonight in the junior varsity game, and at halftime, it's the homestanding Lady Aces leading the visiting Lady Pirates of Continental by 3, 8-5, our halftime score. We're going to take a break, but we invite you to stick around. Brian and I will be back, and we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back to the Red Zone as we are at halftime. And in case you are just joining us, our halftime score, junior varsity girls basketball. It's the homestanding Lady Aces leading the Pirates at halftime, 8-5. Won't take long to recap the unofficial scoring in the first half. It goes like this. For the visiting Continental Pirates, their leading scorer was Allie Scott. Allie had 2 field goals for 4 points. And aside from that, Jensen Army with a free throw for 1. And that's their 5 points. On the other side, the Aces, McKeegan Bailey leads all scorers so far in the junior varsity game. McKeegan had a couple of field goals and a free throw for 5 points. Lindsey Bergman has a bucket for 2, and Leah Seitz with a free throw and 1 point. And that accounts for the 8 points on the scoreboard for the Lady Aces. Both teams using 1 timeout in the first half, so both squads have 4 timeouts remaining for the second half. And again, Leah Seitz and Lindsey Bergman each have 2 personal fouls hanging on them going into the second half. For Continental, Jensen Army with 3 personals on her and 1 personal on number 11, Anna Villanueva. So I think that pretty much gets you all caught up as we get ready to get things started with the second half. The Aces won the tip at the start of the game. So I believe it'll be Continental getting the inbounds here for the second half as we'll switch ends of the floor. And we'll expect the crowds to start filing in and the stands to fill up a little bit more through the course of this second half as people start arriving for the varsity contest here tonight. Hope Aces will have the ball, so it must have been Continental. I thought, well, anyway, Continental must have had the last possession. So anyway, the Aces will have the ball. Inbounds, that's Seitz. Seitz loses it, and it comes up into the hands of Jensen Prowant, and they'll have a foul on Seitz. That'll be her 3rd personal. Excuse me, that'll be on Alyssa Seitz, number 30, her 1st personal. And they'll shift personnel around. Continental get ready to inbounds. Reese Knowles gets it into Army. Army over to Logan. Logan gets it taken away by Bailey. Bailey holding up, losing the dribble, loose on the floor. Bailey gets it, tosses it over to Seitz. Seitz down into the corner to Bland. Bland looking for some help up on top to Bergman. Bergman will take it down into the corner to the top of the key. Bailey will take the shot, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of Scott, and we're going to have a jump ball, and that'll be Continental on the possession arrow. Army with the inbounds. We're back in action. Lady Pirates bring it up the floor. Army. Bounce pass off the arm of Leah Seitz, and it's another turnover. Seitz, good job there to Bergman. Bergman will bounce it back to Leah Seitz. Seitz to Bland. Back to Bergman on the wing. Down into the corner. Bounce pass underneath. Shot is up off the iron and no good from Alyssa Seitz. And it goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Lady Pirates. They'll get the ball inbounds. Here come the Pirates. Bounce pass. Almost lost it, but gets it back. Another bounce pass. That's over to Scott. Scott will put the ball up off the iron. No good. Rebound. Caught on the baseline. That's by Prowant. Prowant tries to feed it inside, and it's intercepted, deflected, and taken away by Bailey. McKeegan will take it across the timeline. On to Bland. Bland tries to feed it inside. It goes off to Bergman, catches it. Then Alyssa Seitz gets it on the baseline and tries to get it back to Sydney Bland, but Bland loses it off of her fingertips out of bounds. So they'll turn it back over. Coach Meiser telling the girls to just calm down a little bit. Dribbles it off her own foot, and Logan will turn it over to the Aces down in the corner. Bland inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz over to Bailey. Bailey down low to Bergman. Bergman loses her footing and trips, but when the ball goes up for grabs, it gets scooped up by Prowant, who carries the ball. It's called for the double dribble. Seitz the inbound, takes the shot just a little bit short. Put back from Bergman, and Bergman's going to draw the foul. And that's going to be on Prowant, and that'll be Prowant's first personal, and that's team foul now number 1, for the second half. Bergman in and out, no good. She'll get another one. 3:51 to go here in our opening quarter. Mazur and Perna back into the game. For the Aces, Bergman's second shot is good. So Lindsey Bergman now with 3 points on the night. Army for the Pirates. Bounce pass. Down to Logan. Logan's shot is not got enough on it. Comes down to Leah Seitz. Seitz to Perna. Back to Leah. Seitz gets it deflected. Saved by Bland. Bland tries to get it down low to Bergman. Back out to Bland. And back to Seitz. Then to Perna. Perna's shot. No good. And it goes over the top of the backboard, and that'll be another turnover. Back to the Pirates. Here comes Continental with 3:15 to go in our third quarter. Long shot off the back of the glass, no good. Put back, that shot is also no good, and Bergman grabs the rebound. So neither Williams nor Prowant could get the ball to drop. Seitz to Perna. Perna. Bergman. Bergman doesn't get a good look at the hoop. Shot's no good. From the corner, that is good for Bland. A long 2 for Sydney Bland. Makes it 11-5. Shot up, off the glass, and no good. And a foul underneath the bucket, going for the rebound. 24 White, that'll be Mazur. Raina Mazur will get her first personal. Bland, Bland and Leah Seitz out of the game briefly. Sigmund back in. Continental with the ball. Running jumper, no good. Still loose, and we've got another scrum. And that'll be on blue 23. Jensen Prowant will pick up her second personal. Team foul number 2, so both the Aces and the Pirates with 2 team fouls now here in this third quarter. McKeegan Bailey over to Perna. Perna to Sigmund. Back to Bailey. Bailey will put up the shot off the iron, no good. Sigmund going for the rebound, not able to control it. Here's Prowen. Prowen gets her pocket picked by Perna. Perna comes back the other way. Tries to get it down to Bergman, and it's knocked out of bounds by Jensen Army. Good hustle from the Pirates as they break it up enough so that the Aces are not able to take advantage of the takeaway and the breakaway. Sigmund gets the ball blocked, tries to get it back, loses it on the baseline to Scott. Scott will bring it up, and Scott will travel. Takes the extra step, trying to stop to pass the ball off. Aces ball on the sideline, minute 51 to go, third quarter. Aces leading 11-5. 6-point advantage. Bailey down into the corner. Sigmund. Sigmund's going to get tripped up by Williams. And Williams will pick up her first personal. That'll be team foul number 3. Back into the game, Reese Knowles for Continental. And Villanueva will come in as well, as Logan will have a seat. And also Williams will come out. Bergman, Mazur, and Bailey will have a seat for the Aces. Ball out of bounds. Going to stay with Continental. Sigmund looking to get the ball inbounds. She gets it in to Leah Seitz, who puts up the shot, no good. Ball comes down to the Pirates. Toss it over to Army. Army dribbles off her own foot, goes back, grabs the ball, guarded by Sigmund. Sigmund loses her footing. Army behind the back dribble, and a timeout as she comes across the timeline. It was a little scatter shot there. The ball's going all over the place. And everybody on the floor is kind of laughing at that exchange. Full 1 minute timeout. 3 timeouts remaining for the Pirates. Once again, they have 3 personal fouls that they've racked up. 3 team fouls, I guess I should say, that they've racked up here in this third quarter. 2 for the Aces. Hicksville leading 11-5. Of course, this is the first of 2 games here at the Red Zone tonight. Brian Williams running the camera for me this evening, and he and I are going to be sticking around, and we'll also have coverage of the varsity contest for you here on Hicksville Community Television as well. So you can check the program guide for when that's coming up. Got a fellow down in front of us that brought in the newspaper. Must have an early bird copy with all the Black Friday ads. And that's right, there'll be a big supplement of ads in the paper tomorrow, won't there? Minute 20 to go. Get back to the point at hand here, and that'll be a double dribble on Army and a turnover. Neither she nor the coach for the Cody Etter could understand that call. They were both looking pretty confused by it, but it is what it is. Perna. In and out, no good. That would have been a 3 had she got it to drop. Scott comes the other way, puts it up, no good. Saved on the baseline by Beecher. Knocked out of bounds by the Aces, so Army will inbounds for Continental. She'll get it into Scott. Scott drives towards the bucket, puts it up a little bit short, and we're going to have a whistle underneath. And it's going to be a push, and that'll be on Seitz. That'll be Seitz' 3rd personal. Not in the act of shooting, so Still a ways to go before either team gets into the bonus. Army, jump shot, no good. Comes down into the hands of Alyssa Seitz. Seitz tosses it over to Leah Seitz. Leah down to Bland. Bland drives into the paint, puts it up, and hits it on the running jump shot. 4 points for Sydney Bland. 13-5 now for the Aces as we go under 20 seconds. Left in quarter number 3. Army looking things over. Army drives towards the three-point arc, backs it off. 11 seconds. Army looking things over, down to 8. Army's driving. And she traveled, drags the pivot foot again. Turn it back over to the Aces with 4.7 seconds left. Lindsey Bergman back into the game, and Jade Sigmund will sit down for a breather. 4.7 seconds to go the length of the floor. Bland gets it in to Leah Seitz. Seitz quickly down the floor. Drives, puts up the shot off glass. No good. And that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Aces 13 and the Continental Lady Pirates 5. So we've got a bit of a break here before we head into the fourth and final quarter for this evening. And once again, we want to say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters making our coverage possible here on Hicksville Community Television. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Hicksville, Ohio. We want to thank Jim Schmidt so very much, not only bringing you coverage of tonight's action, but he's with us for the entire school year, supporting all of our sports broadcasts. They're the ones that make it possible for us to go on the road during the football regular season and cover the tournament games when we travel as well. And in addition to the JV and varsity basketball, like we're seeing here tonight for the girls, we'll have boys coverage for you as well. And we'll try to work in some of the junior high basketball for you in addition to that. And whenever you see Aces Sports on Hicksville Community Television, it's all because of the generous underwriting support of the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships. So you see Jim, his lovely wife Karen, make sure you let them know how much you appreciate being able to watch Aces Sports on HIX-TV, because they're the ones that make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and of course online at jimschmidtauto.com. All right, 6 minutes on the game clock, and here we go. Aces up by 8 as we head into the fourth quarter of the junior varsity game tonight. Hicksville with the ball to start off quarter number 4. Quick inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz over to Bailey. Bailey puts up the shot off the front of the glass, or rim rather, no good. Put back by Bergman is no good, but another foul. That's going to be on 0-0, her first of the night. And that's going to send Lindsey Bergman to the line to shoot a couple. Team foul number 4 for this half on the Lady Pirates. Lindsey Bergman back at the line. Gets the first one. She's got one more coming. Bergman gets them both. That makes it 15-5, and the Aces increase their lead to 10. Logan with the ball for the Pirates. Down into the corner, working along the perimeter of the three-point arc. She'll take it back out, the top of the key. Pass over to Prowant. Prowant drives in, puts it up off the side of the backboard, no good. Loose on the floor. Scooped up by Bergman. She flips it over to Bland. Bland stops short of the three-point arc. Gets it over to Seitz. Seitz to Bailey. Inside to Bergman. Back out to Seitz. She puts it up off the back of the iron. No good. Ball bounces out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Lady Aces. Bland will get into position to inbounds. Gets it into Bergman. Bergman back to Bland. Back out to Bergman on the wing. Bergman over to Bailey. Bailey gets it over to Lee Seitz. Shot up, no good. McKeegan tried to get a hold of it. It's going to go out of bounds, and last touch by Continental, so it stays with the Aces. Inbounds, Leah Seitz. Seitz to McKeegan Bailey. Back to Seitz. To Mazur. Mazur puts it up, no good. Prowant with the rebound for Continental. Prowant gets it into Scott. Scott flips it back. Almost lost it, but they hang on to it. Trapped in the corner, they get it over to Logan. Logan takes it back out. Flips it down to Williams. Williams to Scott in the corner. Taken away by Bergman, and they're going to have another foul, and that's going to be another one on 0-0. 2 personals now on Allie Scott. Team foul number 5 for the Pirates. 4:12 to go in the game. Leah Seitz takes it across the timeline for the Aces over to Bailey. Bailey drives in, puts up the runner, no good. Put back, Bergman off the glass, no good. She saves it on the baseline and tries again, no good, but she'll be fouled and go to the line to shoot 2 more. And that'll be 0-0, picking up foul number 3 and team foul number 6. Next one puts the Aces in the bonus. Lindsey Bergman at the line. It's good. She'll get 1 more. And she gets them both. That makes it 17-5. The lead now a dozen. So we go under 4 minutes left in the game. And a travel will turn it over once again to the Lady Aces. Leah Seitz. Deflected, but Mazur gets a hold of it, but then it's deflected again, and that's going to be a blocking foul on Seitz. That'll be number 4 on Leah. And team foul number 4 for the Aces in this half. So Mazur and Bergman and Bailey will sit down now. Sigmund back into the game along with Perna and Alyssa Seitz. Bland back out there too. Scott looking, nothing there. She'll toss it back over to Logan. Logan partially deflected, but Prowant gets it back for the Pirates. Prowant tries to get it around, dribbles it off of her shin, loose on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball going to the Aces. With 3:10 left in the contest. Seitz. Down low to Alyssa Seitz. Back out to Bland. Over the head of Perna and out of bounds, and that should go to Continental. Villanueva will get it in to Logan. Logan working her way through traffic. Hangs on to the basketball, gets it to Prowant. Prowant into the paint. She'll put up a shot, no good, out of bounds. And back to the Lady Aces. Bailey and Bergman have caught their breath, so they'll come in, and Bland and Leah Seitz will have a seat. Perna. A little too tall for Sigmund, but Bergman manages to get it back, and she has a little too much mustard on that pass, and it's through the hands of Alyssa Seitz and out of bounds and back to the Lady Pirates. Villanueva gets it in to Logan. Logan over to Prowant, down to Scott. Scott puts on a move, loses the ball, but it's scooped back up by Beecher. Beecher gets it back to Scott. Scott to Villanueva. Her bounce pass to Prowant. Prowant on the wing, drives onto the baseline, and she'll lose it out of bounds. going to stay with the Lady Pirates as it went out of bounds on account of being slapped out of bounds by a Lady Ace. 2:03 to go. Inbounds to Scott. Scott loses it almost to Bergman, but gets it back. And then we're going to have a foul as Prowett starts to drive. And that'll be the second on Alyssa Seitz. Team foul number 5 for the Lady Aces. Shot is up, no good, and out of bounds, and it should be Hicksville's ball with 1:52 left in the JV game. McKeegan Bailey brings it up the floor. Bailey down into the corner, feeds it down low. They try to get it into Alyssa Seitz. It's slapped out of bounds. Into the game now, Desira Bish. And Lauren Williams back in for the Pirates as well. Should be Desira Bish. Desira Bish. Logan. Down to Williams. And it's going to be a jump ball tie-up between her and Jade Sigmund. Sigmund's not afraid to get in there after the basketball every now and then. And Alyssa Seitz will come out and Mazur back into the game. Mazur grabs the rebound to Bergman. Bergman to Sigmund. And Sigmund shifted her foot just a little too much and gets called for the travel with 1:16. Down into the corner, and they're going to have a whistle, and again a double dribble turnover. And I think that was on Villanueva. Kind of hard to see with all the bodies down there in the corner. McKeegan Bailey will bring it across the timeline as we go under 1 minute to go in the junior varsity game to Bergman to Mazur. Mazur puts the shot up, no good. Bergman with the follow is good. Lindsey Bergman makes it a 19-5 game, and I think she's going to be the leading scorer in the contest here tonight. Villanueva, bounce pass out of bounds, and back to the Aces with 37.3 seconds. As the ball rolls not only out of bounds, but completely out of the gymnasium, out into the commons area. They get it back. Here comes Bailey for the Lady Aces. Deflected, but Sigmund grabs a hold of it, and she's going to get tied up with Logan. It'll be another jump ball, and possession arrow this time will favor the Continental Lady Pirates. So they'll get the ball back with 27.2 seconds to go in regulation. Down by 14. So just waiting to tick the last time off. We're going to have another jump ball, and again, it's Sigmund in there battling for it with Lauren Williams. And this time they're going to give her a foul for the reach-in. So Jade picks up her first personal, team foul number 6. So one more foul on either side of the ball, and we're going to shoot some one-on-one. Sigmund with the basketball. And we're going to have a reach-in, and that's going to be on number 5, Olivia Logan, and that should send Jade to the line to shoot 1-1. With 15.1 seconds left to go. So Jade Sigmund at the line. Her first shot, good. That's her first point of the night. She's been playing hard, so it's good to see her get her name in the scorebook. Second one. In and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Bish. And another foul, that's going to be on Lindsey Bergman. That'll be Lindsey's third. And we'll go down to the other end and shoot some free throws as Desira Bish will shoot 1 and 1. With 13 seconds left to go. No good and out of bounds. It'll be Ace's ball. Down to 10 seconds. McKeegan Bailey is going to just hold the ball to to Perna rather. Perna will just dribble it out, and that will be the ball game. Your final score in the junior varsity game, it's the Lady Aces defeating the Lady Pirates of Continental 20-5. The final score as the Aces hold Continental scoreless for the entire second half of the junior varsity game. So there's no real scoring to tell you about in the for the second half. We'll recap everything here real quickly. And we'll get some final score totals for you here. If you'll give me just a second to tally things up. All right. So here we go for the Continental Pirates junior varsity squad on the losing end. Again, their scoring has not changed unofficially since the end of the first half. Allie Scott had 2 buckets for 4 points, and Jensen Army had a free throw for 1. And those were both in the first half, and they were held scoreless by the Lady Aces in quarters 3 and 4. For the Aces, winning it tonight 20-5, the final score, leading scorer for them and for the game tonight, Lindsey Bergman. Bergman had a couple of field goals. And 5 free throws for 9. So she just misses being in double figures. Following behind, McKeegan Bailey with 2 field goals and a free throw for 5. A couple of buckets for Sydney Bland. She got 4 and a free throw each for Jade Sigmund and Leah Seitz. 1 point each, and that makes 20. So there you have it, 20-5 the final score as the Lady Aces put one in the win column here tonight in the junior varsity matchup. So with that, like I said, there's not much to talk about, so we're going to wrap it up pretty quickly here. Of course, as we mentioned, Brian and I will be sticking around. We'll have coverage of the varsity action for you on HIX-TV as well tonight, so keep your eyes on the program guide for that game coming your way. And with that, a big thank you once again to everyone here at Hicksville and the staff and the athletic department, to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. And for Brian Williams on the camera, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.